Hey everybody, welcome to Rising High Priestess. I am about to get into the February forecast for 2020 right now, all right? I hope everyone is having a fabulous start to this season. I hope your February has started off beautiful and blessed, amplified blessings. All right, so let's get into these cards. One time I think I want to do my video dark because I want you guys to be able to see my lights. All right. I'm pulling out 4 cards. Okay, so the first card that comes up is the reverse 2 of Wands, followed by the 4 of Cups, followed by the 6 of Wands, followed by the King of Swords. And so we're going to start with the 4 of Cups that came up. The 4 of Cups speaks of having like an overall unhappiness, a bitter experience. It's almost like every time I see this card, I think of like bile, you know, when you get sick and this feeling is just lingering. And this is like how I compare this card a lot of times when I'm doing readings. And it also gives the energy of just being overall tired with a situation, feeling as if you have exerted and exercised all of the options that you possibly could, and you're at a point where you're like, you know, sink or swim, whatever happens at this point, you know, it just happens. You're done. You don't have any more fight left in you. And so it's some people out there that this card is resonating with. You're at a point of exhaustion. You are at a point of, I don't have anything else to give. I don't have any more energy to give to the situation. I don't have any more energy to give to the person. And then on the flip side, there are people who are at a point where they're willing to walk away at this point. And so this card speaks of a lot of discontentment. There's a lot of restlessness going on emotionally. And there's overall unhappiness with, you know, your position in a situation. It's almost as if you have a failed expectation, you know, what you thought you were in and the reality of what you're in is almost like it's too much. And so that is one of the first cards that I am reading, or that came up. The next card I'm going to is the reverse 2 of Cups. The 2 of Cups, it speaks of, you know, it kind of follows the same thing of, you know, dissatisfaction and unhappiness, but this time is more so aimed at love and relationships. There's a lot of trouble in paradise right now, especially right around love season. You know, it can be very testing. But there's like a misunderstanding. It's almost as if people are on the opposite side of the spectrum. You guys aren't tackling a situation as a team. Instead, you guys are taking, I'm on this side, you are the enemy, and you guys are not finding a middle ground. You guys are not communicating. You guys are seeing each other as the enemy, which makes it easy for that 4 of Cups. You remember what I said, where it's like, you know what, I'm gonna just give up. That's why it's so easy to do that. During this time, you're going to have to remember, why did I get into this? What about this person or this situation was so good for me or so good to me? Why am I here? Is the expectation that I thought I had, is it, you know, it's failing, but is my reality that harsh? Is my reality with this person this bad? Are the requests that they're giving me that obscene? Or is it something that I can work with, you know? And so this card is all about finding a middle ground, not being so extreme in your relationship, because it does speak of divorce. You know, if you keep this opposition up, that 4 of Cups comes up, and it's going to be like both parties are going to just say, I can't do it anymore. So we have that. The next card that comes up for February 2020 is the Six of Wands. Now, this is a little bit of a happier card that came up as opposed to the two previous ones. The Six of Wands, it speaks of triumph. It speaks of, you know, finally being recognized for your efforts, you know. As far as if it follows the theme of the first two cards, technically it can, you know, especially if you're in a situation where someone feels as if their efforts go unseen in a relationship or a partnership or even a friendship. You know, if they feel they're being taken for granted or taken advantage of or taken for a ride, this Six of Wands kind of gives hope that, you know what, you are going to be recognized for the person you are. You know, when the dust settles and the smoke clears, you know, your character shines through. And so this is a card of, you know, triumph and success. You know, it's still a little strife there, but there is advancement and just overall gain and good news that comes from this card. And the final card, the King of Swords. And this card speaks of someone who is very determined during this month. So the energy of this month is very active. For some reason, January was kind of like a false start to 2020, in my opinion. I told everybody Happy New Year, February 1st, because January was still 2019, okay? But this King of Swords, I got some incense on my card. It speaks of an active and determined person where you are becoming action-oriented. You are seeing your problems, and there is a analytical aspect that you're going to approach them with. Not emotional and not even so much logic, but it's almost like the art of war, you know. That's what I think of when I see the King of Swords. It's a very strategic mind. How can I solve this problem or approach this problem in a very strategic manner? And so you're going to have to set your emotions to the side this month. The more emotional you are, the more chaos you're going to bring to the situation. You're going to have to be very strategic in your approach towards your problems as they come up. Any discontentment, any tension, any anger, if you react based off of emotion, you're going to cause that separation of those first cards that came up. But if you look at it from a very strategic point of, you know, how can I get what I want and need, and also have this person feel as if they're getting their needs met as well. So that is your forecast for February 2020. If this resonated with you, please comment below. Remember to like and share my link. Also hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys, and I will see you next week.